So, lately rangers got an opinion, longbow power rangers got an opinion of being overpowered. I would like to respectfully disagree and try to explain why I think they are not overpowered, and give some tips how to hunt rangers down. Now, this is some impressive barrage of rapid fire, especially with Drew's quickness. Yet I am staying in one place and doing nothing at all. Now, if I attack the ranger doing 1-1-1 and running at him not looking, Drew has some chill plus immobilize plus fear combos. And fear and knockdown, of course. But this is how it should be. I mean, we are watching a berserker mesmer who is running at a ranger who is able to play as he wants. 1 or 2 good dodges and the problem is not here. What really kills you is not rapid fire, it is crowd control and then rapid fire. I hope you've noticed some basic tricks a ranger can use against you. And here, world versus world, we've got one of those much maligned overpower longbow rangers. And my reflects are on cooldown, so I use a gap closer and blink towards him. To get appropriate power level, ranger had to go extremely squishy. A ranger doesn't have boon shield and water fields and all of that. If you catch him close range, he will have to change a weapon to a long range one. I am preserving dodges to avoid control skills, not to avoid damage. I didn't even use reflex and it is all over. The standing in one place experiment I showed you in the first 5 clips in world vs world scenario is the same as we ambush someone. So yeah, now I am ambushing 2 people who are trying to take the camp from the third side. Let me tell you this, I play horribly in this clip. Yet look at the ranger, he's dead. Is this overpowered? Totally not. My mesmer is more overpowered than that longbow ranger. A ranger in current meta is an artillery class. The weakest defense, max offense class there is. Long range. Anything berserker is able to counter this type of ranger. Of course, assuming I am able to blink towards him. The damage is very high, but note how much we are struggling fighting against bunkers of all kinds. We need a long-range reflectable class which will be able to fight against the tanks. So yeah, rangers. Another great thing which comes from ranger buff. If there is a ranger in the party, enemy cannot kite forever. Very fast escaping and problematic classes like warriors, thieves or mesmers, they will have some problems. Heavy and slow classes, they also have some problems. Yay for artillery! And well, I got buffed. What's not to like? The new ranger also promotes party play. In this clip I have Drew and you have noticed what he can do in the beginning. Observe how enemy ranger kills himself on my reflex, and how the combination of pull and new improved entangle works on enemies. This new artillery ranger works very well combined with crowd control, and with my pulls and his entangle, they honestly stood no chance. But if they had more reflex and properly slotted utilities, they would be able to continue even with our burst. What also happened is that with the buffs to rangers and changes to the rangers, rangers became a great denial class. Not by area denial like elementalists or mesmers with Chaos Storm, but pressure denial. In this clip I have assassinated a Doliak, afterwards I will return it with a portal and try to kill an elementalist. I will totally be unable to do so, simply because the ranger has too high firepower and I need to take him down first. Now, before a buff, the ranger would not be a problem for me at all. Right now, he became a formidable opponent because I don't have resources. I am on constant defense. Note the situation, please. It is open field, but I am still able to use line of sight to avoid the arrows of the ranger. And when needed, I am able to blink towards him or use Sword 3 to teleport towards him and use some kind of burst on him. Sure, because I am low on hit points from the very beginning of this fight, I am unable to execute it properly, but I am able to put pressure on a ranger, ranger put pressure on me, and we are simply fighting over the body of an elementalist. This is kind of a stalemate, really, but as elementalist is able to move, he is able to get closer to the tower. But is this ranger really overpowered, or is it simply that I know how to fight a ranger simply because I'm dueling Drew a lot? I mean, if that was a warrior, one of those hug me types, then I would have similar problems. It's simply a new type of fight, one which was not present in Guild Wars 2 before, in melee meta. But this is nothing overpowered, it's simply that we don't know how to face it yet. And the fact there's something new in the game I consider to be a very, very good thing. Besides, truth be told, a properly built mesmer, in the hands of good player, should be able to play better than me here. Now, to show you some tricks how to deal with rangers, with Drew we've made 2 duels. So we are like gladiators fighting for your amusement. Now, first 2 things to remember when you fight a ranger. 1. Crowd control is what kills you, not damage. 2. If it is a longbow ranger, keep close. If you keep close to a ranger, the ranger has to change a weapon. And 3. Mind the pet. I don't know how about other rangers, but Drew uses pet very actively. The most damage in every fight is dealt to me by Doctor Who or Misguided Bat. And if pet has quickness, this is really dangerous. Drew's ranger build has a high sustenance. He doesn't have the ultimate damage, which, you know, the normal World vs. World ranger does, but he has high attrition damage. Now, the change to rapid fire made it so it is possible to dodge it completely, especially if rapid fire has quickness. What is still a bane of the ranger is retaliation or confusion, but to be honest, mostly retaliation. The new Sword 3 Temporal Curtain combo, I still didn't manage to learn it properly, so yeah, that's it. So back to the fight. Drew is trying to cripple me to reduce my mobility so his pets will be able to kill me. In the same time, he's trying to immobilize me with Entangle. This Entangle change is, I think, the most important change in Ranger arsenal. I absolutely need to strip him from his boons, so I use Nullfield very offensively combined with my boon stripping Kratos. The greatest problem I have fighting Drew with his longbow is the fact that I can't see the animation of pushback skill. So this is the one thing I cannot really avoid or dodge. If he manages to combine push and rapid fire, or immobilize and rapid fire, or fear and rapid fire, it's all over unless I have a stun breaker. So he's on longbow and he tries to create distance. I am on sword focus mostly, and I'm trying to reduce the distance. As you can see, the battle is very equal. It's not like he has an advantage or me I have an advantage. It changes all the time. Now I make a mistake. He caught me in Entangle. I misplace Curtain, I panic, I cast Warden, and instead of staying inside the Warden, I blink away from it. If I stayed inside the Warden, I would stay alive. Then I should mass invis, you know. You might have noticed that all my fights against rangers were always the same. I avoid crowd control, I attack from the close range, I try to move behind the ranger to break his rapid fire and skills. I avoid crowd controls mostly, I avoid pets or use Curtain to displace them, I hide inside wardens, and I buff myself with Chaos Storm, hoping for some dazes to create vulnerabilities. No matter which class you have, you should be able to gap close somehow to a ranger, and if enemy went very glassy, you will kill him. Otherwise, don't panic, simply don't let the ranger go. Here, Drew manages to fear me off the plateau. I'm using my defensive portal to return up and harass him more. The closer you are, the less damage the longbow deals. If the ranger is bursty, he will deal enormous damage, but then you will be able to kill him after second gap closing. If the ranger is tanky, then well, you see the fight like this one. But this is an equal fight. Even if I can't use reflex all the time, I have dodges, I have vulnerabilities, I have all those defenses. And if the ranger is tanky, then the burst is not here. So, where's the overpowered thing? If I am able to defeat Drew on Disruptor, which is not a dueling build, it simply means that ranger is not overpowered. I haven't lost too many rangers since the season started.